Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from my very own channel Astro Assurance. Firstly, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet and if you are one of the regular viewers to my channel, please, if you find the channel useful, if you find my videos useful, then allow YouTube to also propagate these videos further, because then others will also be able to find some utility out of them. If you don't subscribe to my channel, then these videos keep getting bumped up to you because you are the regular viewer, but this doesn't get propagated to new people. New viewers may want to also get some utility out of these videos, and they may want to subscribe, and so the reach will be more. So please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done yet, please get some good karma to add to your kitty of already whatever good karma you have. Now on the topic for today, we have done a lot of videos on different doshas, different yogas and planetary placements of planets from each other. One of the series we are doing is also of planets placed from different houses or in different houses from the moon. In this series we have already done planets Sun and Rahu in different houses from the moon in all the 12 houses. So today we are going to do the third in this series, which is a very important placement, which is Saturn in the 12 houses from the moon. Why this is very important is because Saturn's placement from the moon also creates the dosha, which is the Vish dosha, which is one of the very strong negative malefic doshas which can happen in somebody's life, and this is a very potent dosha. It should not be taken lightly. Whichever house it occurs, it will definitely give a spot of bother to the areas of that house, to the relations connected to the house, and overall results that you may get. And because Vish dosha is about Saturn over moon, so it also affects your mental capabilities. But anyways, more on that later. The second thing is that Saturn, when it goes in the penultimate house over moon, then in the same house as your natal moon, and then in the next house wherever the moon is placed after that, or second to the moon, those 2.5 years, each one of them, which are called the Dahiya or 2.5 years, totally make up the Sade Sati or 7.5 years of the Saturn period, where Saturn is going over your natal position of the moon. That is one of the very dreaded placements, a very dreaded transit by Saturn. It should not be taken lightly, and it is also very potent, specifically connected to which houses it is going over, which signs it is going over. So Saturn's placement in any of the houses from the moon is a serious occurrence. There are serious manifestations, there are serious karmic placements, also denotations also to it. So this placement of Saturn in different houses from the moon is important. So let's jump in and see how Saturn, when it is placed in different houses from the moon, will give you different results, different denotations, different sense of probabilities as well. Now if Saturn is in the first house from the moon, or in the same house as the moon, or in conjunct with the moon, so as we spoke about, it is a Vish dosha. It is a very important dosha. It is a very critical, very strong malefic dosha. So what it happens is that this tendency of Saturn and moon coming together in horoscope, creating the Vish dosha, means that this person will always find a pull of Saturn over his mental capabilities, over his capability to focus on something, and his emotional quotient also. So Saturn being a planet of slowing down the results of anything, so similarly this person takes time to first get attached to things, but once the person gets attached to things, those things become very important. If the person has to let go of those things, loses those things, then it becomes a very big challenge for the person to be able to letting go of that, because Saturn as a planetary energy gives you slow results, but once it comes there, it gives you stable results. It is not easy to let go of the tendencies that Saturn gives you easily, because Saturn is a very slow moving planet. So when Saturn is in the first house, in the moon, or along with the moon, or in conjunction, whichever house they may be, now we are talking about being placed with the moon, or say in the moon lagna, then the person will surely feel that every now and then his emotional health or his or her capacity to focus on important areas of life may be affected. This also may in some situations give you challenging results or relations with the mother when you are born. Now because if you are born with moon and Saturn placed together, you are born in the peak period of Sade Sati, so you may not know much what what the situation in your house, but usually a child who's born with the Sadesati usually will find that the first few years of when they were born or they were raised, the first 6, 7, 8 years, they will not have the most happy feelings in the household. There would be some tug of war, something, or there would be some challenge in the family, some issues with the family, with the parent. Health may be an issue, finance may be an issue. One of the factors will surely be, if finance has become better when the child has been born, sometime it does happen when the child is born, suddenly there is more prosperity in the family, because child is Jupiter is the karaka of the child. So when the child is born, Jupiter gets activated and Jupiter brings abundance. So that may surely happen. But one area of the life the person will find they were born in, which was a challenging placement. So if you have Saturn and Moon together, be very careful how or where you allow your emotions to get attached, and also be careful of where you are expending your emotions easily or freely. And also be aware of not being too attached to certain things, because when you are letting go of those things, or they have to be allowed to let go, then there will be challenges, they won't be easy. Second thing is, this gives you restlessness. Sometimes throughout your life, there is a certain degree of unease in your life, and it is like Saturn pulling off its strength, putting off its strength on Moon and pulling down the emotional quotient. So sometimes this works on extremes. Either you are too emotional about certain things, sometimes you are too icy, because Saturn is an icy planet. So you need to be careful of to be more balanced in your emotional equation, emotional energies. Don't allow your emotions to be either completely be explosive and be very emotional, going down, being depressive, and not being able to control your emotions at all, or neither being completely icy cool, because on either extreme it is your emotions which will suffer. You may go through challenges and issues. So if you have this placement, keep your mind focused, keep more control of your mind, meditate. Don't allow negative tendencies to affect you. Don't do overthinking. Sometimes this person may also think and think and think, and sometimes they are not easy to keep their patience. So if Saturn and Moon are together, so definitely it's a tough dosha to have in. Keep your cool, keep your patience, keep your perseverance, and then over a period of time, Saturn will ease off its grip on the Moon and things will be better. Now, if Saturn goes into the second house from the Moon, this is also being born in the, say for example, the setting phase of your Sadesati. You're born in the Sadesati period, but because Saturn is second from the Moon, which means it is the setting phase of Sadesati. So now what happens, because Saturn has gone second from the Moon, what is the placement of a planet from the Lagna of any planet? It is the gains of that planet. So here, gains coming out of the emotional quotient are less. So you may be born in a family, because from the Moon Lagna, Saturn has gone into the second house. So certain times there may be either a dearth of finances in the family, or there is a dearth of emotions in the family. Either of the two, there will be a challenge. So either there is some equation in the family, some tug of war is going on between the brothers, maybe your father or his sisters, or your mother or her sisters. There is some tug of war is happening, or there is a dearth of finance on the point of view when you are born. After that, maybe slowly the situation may even change, but this definitely happens. Secondly, throughout your life, you'll always feel a dearth of emotional wealth in your life, which means you will never be satisfied. Some people I see from outside, we feel, this person should be very happy, this person has a happy married life, the person has children, person has finances. However, when you talk to them, you'll find that emotionally they don't feel fulfilled. When you talk to them, there will be one area which they will say, no, but this is not there, peace of mind is not there, or my husband doesn't love me enough, or I don't have access to my children. There will be something which for some other people may be a normal thing. Yeah, my husband is earning, he's too busy, he's in business, obviously he will have less time for us. But in this person's life, the person will feel the pinch of the distance, or whichever one of the areas, surely the emotional quotient will be missing. Or they may feel that they didn't get enough love and affection from their own mother, or from their own parents, or from their own neighborhood, or maybe siblings. So in the family, by neighborhood I mean in the immediate family, maybe even the extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, they feel they don't have that frequent connection, they don't have the solace, they don't have the love and affection. So the emotional wealth that the person should have there is a dearth of that. Secondly, there is always a dearth of not being able to overcome the financial situation and being comfortable saying that yeah, financially we are well off, so I don't need to worry. So the person sometimes also worries about the financial situation, and they also worry about the financial security. It's not easy for them, especially if there are challenges, to think okay, everything will be all right. They think more than the others in the family. So if you have Saturn in the second house from the moon, be a little careful. Don't allow the emotions to get the better of you. Don't overthink that I don't have the solace, there are less people who love me, there is less emotional support, or financial security is not there. Give it time. Over a period of time things will settle in, and go for some investment, maybe long-term investment, because of which you know there are enough savings and you are taking care of financially as well. And depend on yourself more for emotional solace. Keep your mind occupied in something which gives you happiness, which gives you peace, rather than depending on others for your emotional succor. Now, if Saturn is in the third house from the moon, what is the third house from any house? It is the effort of that house. So here Saturn makes you work harder to get the emotional succor from your family or from your loved ones. So here the person has to work hard. Unless you are giving more, unless you're serving more, unless you're doing more for others, they don't seem to love you. So you always feel that unless you do for others, only then the reciprocation comes. That to the reciprocation is not to the extent that you feel that you deserve. So there is always this feeling that I do so much for others. Why don't people appreciate me? Why don't people tell me that they like me or they love me, or they they appreciate my things, they're grateful to me. So somewhere all down the line there is always the dearth, in spite of putting in more effort, that people don't give you that emotional support, the emotional nourishment you don't get. The other is in your communication skills also. Sometimes you find that you have a lot more to give to people. You will be loving people, you will be appreciating people, you will be telling people that see, I love you and I care for you. You will be the one who will probably emotionally pamper others, but you don't get the emotional pampering back from others. And this also sometimes creates challenges with younger siblings from an emotional point of view. Maybe even at a financial point of view, maybe they may support you or they may help you, but somewhere you feel with one of the siblings, you will find that there is a gap, emotional gap is there. There is always some friction also, maybe some jealousy also, because of which there is always that emotional gap between you and your siblings. And this is also a placement where sometimes you also get in trouble with neighbors, because neighbors also seem to be making trouble every now and then, because of which peace of mind is not there. Sometimes this also makes you change your neighborhood again and again, or maybe change the cities also that you live in. Maybe you don't travel very far away from your place, but the emotional connect that you have to the place and then you have to make a shift is not easy on you. So if you have Saturn from third house from the moon, don't try to depend on others for emotional succor that they may be able to give you through what words they use and how they have come across, and they putting in effort as much as you do. You're putting in the effort, you are giving them, you have done your duty, that is enough. Now Saturn goes into the fourth house from the moon. What is the fourth house from any planet? Now we're talking about the moon. The wealth, the assets that you get from that planet, from the denotation of the planet. So here it means that you will always feel that you need to be able to make more assets, and you find more peace. You also find more emotional solace, more emotional tranquility when you have assets, financial assets. So if you have your own house, then you will be at peace. If you don't have your own house, then maybe you feel there is something missing, and you will always want that to happen so that you can also feel emotionally peaceful. The second thing it also does is, Saturn in the fourth house from the moon, is it creates challenges of maybe getting the emotional support, especially from the mother. So at some point of time, there will always be one phase during which you feel you're not getting enough support from the mother. Mother is not supporting you enough, or mother didn't love you enough, or mother did not come to your support. For example, a pregnant woman may think during my pregnancy time, my mother was not there for me. Or during my exams, in my final year exams, those 1.5 2 months, my mother really bothered me. I really missed that motherly affection, the motherly care during that time. So there will always be a phase where there will be more complaining from your side. You feel you're missing out from your mother. The other thing is, you will also find that assets will create a challenge for you. every now and then something will happen to the asset because of which your peace of mind goes. So your car breaks down, or your car, something happens to the house, you get a notice, then you suddenly worry why this is happening. Or you are trying to save money for a house, you're not able to construct the house, because of which you lose your peace of mind. So if Saturn is fourth from the moon, keep your cool, keep your calm, keep working hard, and don't worry too much. Saturn will make it challenging initially, so that it won't be easy to make assets, but however, over a period of time, if you keep your peace, if you keep your patience, if you keep your perseverance, then Saturn is the first planet which gives in and will allow you to make the assets, also get the financial security, also get the love and affection in your domestic life also. This is also placement where sometimes you feel the dearth in your emotional life, in your domestic emotional life, where in your family, with your husband, with your children also, you feel the kind of love and affection and gratitude you should be able to get, you sometimes are missing. But if you continue to focus on your domestic life, I will do as much as possible, but I will not depend on others, that over a period of time, Saturn allows you that peace. Saturn does give you the stability, this harmony, domestic harmony as well. Now if Saturn is in the 5th house from the moon, so here Saturn, it will be affecting the 5th house denotation at an emotional level. What does this mean? It means at an emotional level in your romantic relations, you will find something missing, or you may not be able to get the most romantic love affection from your romantic partner or yourself, which means that if you are attracted to somebody because you also want that the person should appreciate me, love me, care for me, miss me, and pay attention to me, somewhere you will find there is a lack of that reciprocation from the other side. So you feel, I do so much, I call the person so much, I text the person so much, I give gifts, I remember the person's important. It's why is this that the person doesn't appreciate me enough? And at least one time in their life, generally, at least one of the heartbreaks may occur, because of which that will be really pulling them down. That will take them almost to the edge of depression, also frustration, anxiety that a love affair may bring to you. This could also mean from your children. You're always worrying, you're always thinking, overthinking that what may happen to my children, what they may do, or how they may they may do well in their life. So just like in your romantic relation, you're always worried about what my lover is doing, where is he or she going, are they meeting others, are they dating somebody else, are they friends with others. So there is always this tug of war which is going in your mind. Same thing may also occur with your children. You overthink about your children every now and then, or you may overthink about your investments. Firstly, Saturn doesn't allow you to get the love, the affection, the tranquility, the peace connected to that house. So your Saturn may not allow you the peace of mind in your love, affection, from your children's results or your investments. There is less peace. Even if somebody tells you, say for example, your spouse tells you, no, our investments are secure. Your CA, your chartered accountant tells you, your investment manager tells you, no, your investments are secure, they are all well tied up. Yet you will feel, no, you will always be, there is this worry in your mind, what will happen. So one of these areas will definitely give you a challenge. If not any of these, then your career will give you disturbances every now and then, because of which your emotional disturbance happens. Something or the other, the role change in your career, new designations, structure getting changed, salaries being changed, or you getting a new location to go. These will be coming in. Or sometimes people worry unnecessarily that will I lose my job, and will I get the promotion, will I get the growth, will I get the increment this year, or will I be given the pink slip. So there is sometimes also unnecessary worry that the people may do. However, Saturn from 5th from the moon usually gives you a more stable career. But when the jolt happens, then the jolt happens one after the other. 2-3 jolts happen. Say for example, you have to move from one location to the other, then the role changes, then the team may change, then the project may change, then those next 3, 4, 5 years may be all turmoil oriented. So one needs to keep the peace when Saturn goes 5th from the moon. In these areas, specific areas, you will find there is a dearth, there is a push and pull. And if you are able to keep your peace, if you are able to allow yourself to be able to keep your peace and not overthink about any situation, you will find that actually none of these areas get so disturbed that you should worry as much as you worry. Now if Saturn goes 6th from the moon, this is a good placement overall, because Saturn in the 6th house is a security provider. Saturn is the Karaka of the Dusthana. So in the Dusthanas from the moon also Saturn will be protective. But here Saturn is more protective of the emotional areas. So Saturn usually will give you more stability in your mindset. But if Saturn is inimical sign to the moon, or moon itself is an inimical sign, then this may give you unnecessarily challenges or issues about your health. Health related issues every now and then will not allow you the peace of mind, will not allow you the emotional tranquility. Or some of your colleagues, especially those people who work lower down, may not be giving you the peace of mind at work. You always have to push them more, you always have to keep reminding them, you always have to keep delegating them, but keep following up with them. The work always seems to keep you on your toes, doesn't allow you to have the emotional tranquility, doesn't allow you to have the emotional peace. So there is always a tug of war within your mind about your work, about your service, about your career, about your colleagues, about your lower down. Also sometimes hidden enemies will try to create some issues for you, because of which you lose your peace and tranquility, generally connected to either work or sometimes also related to loans or debts. You may take loans or debts, and those then play on your mind. How will I pay this back? How will I pay the bank? Do I have to mortgage my house, or my house is already on mortgage? Will I lose my house? So some or the other fears keep coming in. A lot of these fears may be unrealistic, because Saturn is more preserving of those areas. However, you need to guard against not doing those actions out of fear, because of which the event actually happens. So unnecessarily going and rubbing your co-worker, saying that you must be doing something behind me, I know you are inimical to me, you don't like me, and unnecessarily creating issues will not work. So keep your peace, allow time to pass, keep you working hard on your career, don't allow unnecessarily tensions, unnecessarily mental issues which are actually not there, it's only fear in the mind, affect you so drastically that you allow the event to actually happen when it was not supposed to happen. Now if Saturn goes 7th from the moon, this is the only place where Saturn and moon will be aspecting each other. Just like Mercury, Venus or Sun also, unless they are 7th from the moon, unless they are 7th from the Saturn, there won't be any mutual aspect from each other. But Saturn and moon 7th from each other is very special position. The reason being is Saturn and moon also owning the Cancer sign and the Capricorn sign also aspect each other or have aspecting houses. So because Capricorn sign is the karma attached to it, the 10th house, career, work, and the 4th house, Cancer sign, is about nourishing others, supporting others. So here there is a push and pull between how much karma you are doing and how much emotional solace you get, which means unless you work hard, unless you do your karma, unless you do your duty, unless you take care of your responsibilities, unless you are committed in your relationships, Saturn, mind you, is 7th from the moon, you will not be able to get complete emotional tranquility. However, it is a better placement. The reason being is Saturn in the 7th house, 7th house is the Libra sign energies. Now because it is from the moon, so it is about 7th from the moon. The emotional tranquility in 7th from the moon is your karma, your work. So in your karma, in your duty, in your work, if you are good, then the relationship will also prosper. The relationship will also give you emotional tranquility, emotional peace. So this means in your partnerships connected to work or in your relationships, committed relationships, if you are giving, if you are more serving, if you are first giving and then ready to bid your time, I have done my karma and the rewards will come, then the rewards do come to you. Sometimes they come late, however they come to you. So you need to keep your peace, you need to be more organized, you need to be more committed, you need to be more loyal in your relationship, so that the emotional solace will come to you, the emotional love and affection will come to you, the emotional attraction will come to you, and the assets that you build, the biggest asset that you have apart from an emotional asset is also the strong partnership, the strong feeling that we are a team. That will also come to you once you are able to tide over the emotional tug of war which is happening. But if you give in more, if you are committed and loyal, then that strong emotional team connect, Saturn will also give you over a period of time. Now if Saturn goes 8th from the moon, this is a little challenging position, though Saturn has got into the 8th house from the moon, but it is challenging because Moon is 6th from Saturn. So this sometimes creates unnecessary issues in your mind, though not outside. So sometimes you feel you worry about those things which are unseen, unforeseen things. So because Saturn is in the 8th house, 8th house is the house of mysteries, 8th house is the house of sudden occurrences. So there is sometimes less peace in your mind when you're worrying about something which you don't even, you're always worrying, will I lose my money? You're worrying something may go wrong, I'm so happy. That may happen. Sometimes you may also get intuitions of something which is about to happen, or you're thinking something is about to happen, something will go wrong, everything is hunky-dory, that means something will go wrong, and because of that unnecessarily you keep thinking, you overthink also, and you get weird dreams, and sometimes you also get nightmares because Saturn is gone from the moon. However, Saturn is more protective of these, but this may create challenges more from in-laws. This may also create challenges in your shared wealth with your spouse, and it may not be easy. If at all there is a problem between you and your spouse, separation of the wealth may not be easy, or investing in shared wealth also may not be easy. So Saturn in the 8th house from the moon, while it is preserving, it is also protective, but it may also create issues every now and then, because of which the emotional peace, tranquility may go, or you may unnecessarily overthink about challenges and issues. Secondly, the 8th house is also the house of longevity. This is also about the longevity of your emotional health, your emotional nourishment, your emotional peace. So sometimes the person, because of overthinking, may bring about challenges at his emotional level, and because of which they may need to go to even seek help, even clinical help. So if moon is in friendly sign, this may be slightly better position, but if moon is in a inimical sign, then Saturn may create more issues for you. If Saturn goes into the 9th house from the moon, so this is a situation where the emotional tranquility will come only when you learn to be able to handle the sudden issues, the problems which happen in your life, to teach you a lesson or to give you experiences from your life. So when you are learning through the experiences in your life, and you're learning and you're growing, and through that you will be able to get your peace, because then you learned your lesson. If you allow challenges, issues to get the better of you, and you're not ready to learn your lesson, for example, you have had a problem with your for example spouse, and you learned your lesson that if you overfight, or you overthink, or if you over trouble, if you are over nagging, then the challenges in the relationship may happen, the relationship may come to the verge of even a breakup, and say for example there is a patch up after that. But if you have not learned the lesson, again you start the same thing, nagging, asking for more attention, or troubling your spouse unnecessarily, then the lessons have not been learned. So what Saturn does, if you have not learned the lesson the first time, the second time the attack is even more severe, because Saturn is about learn from the rules and regulations, learn that there are boundaries, you have not kept the boundaries. So I taught you a lesson, you didn't keep the boundaries, now learn the lesson most severely. So the more you are not ready to learn the lessons of life, Saturn will teach you most severely, because Saturn has gone 9th from the moon. This also sometimes stops you from getting the best from your education, and getting into the best universities, and being able to use enough from your education qualifications. Not that you will not be connected to your educational qualifications, but you will be, or you may be, but the growth will be very slow, because Saturn does not allow you to grow fast enough. Secondly, there may be even break in the education because of some challenge. Sometimes people may fall ill. Sometimes people are so fearful of the exams, they let go of a year, they want another year to prepare, or sometimes because they are not being able to cope with the pressures, they don't do very well in one exam, so they have to reappear for that exam. So that may happen. And one guru may give you some lessons of life. One guru may be somebody who really teaches you a lesson, and this allows you to learn slowly, which means it's not easy to focus on your education, it is not easy to focus on your syllabus, not easy to learn your lessons well fast enough. It seems that you've learned something and then you've forgotten, again you need to start afresh. So Saturn makes you work hard to learn and to be on top of the syllabus, and then get through with very good results from your exam. This makes you work very, very hard to get better results in your exam, and makes you very, very hard to learn the lessons of life. And once you learn the lessons of life, once you're okay, once Saturn has given you a beating, you are on top of your game, then Saturn gives you ease of life, Saturn gives you much better results. Now if Saturn is in the 10th house from the moon, this is one of the best placements of Saturn because Saturn has gone 10th from the moon. So Saturn allows you to build assets, Saturn allows you to do better in your work, Saturn allows you to be more dedicated at work, Saturn allows you to be more organized at work and gives you mental peace also. However, if moon is an inimical sign, then there is unnecessary worry from work. Your supervisors seem to giving you trouble, your colleagues seem to give you trouble, you're always missing deadlines, you're always having some run-off with your or run-ins with your clients, with your customers. Everything seems to be going good. Suddenly something will happen and everything will be shaken. Your supervisors will be screaming, some email has come in complaining about your team or your work, and everything is shaken up. So if Saturn is in a good sign, moon is in a friendly sign or own sign or even exalted, then this gives you excellent results. However, you still have to work hard, but if you work hard and you're stable in your career, stable in your relation with your superiors at work, you're dedicated, you're loyal, you're organized, and you persevere in your work, this is one of the best placements to get good results over a period of time, the results which will not be taken away from you. Now if Saturn is 11th from the moon, this is good gains coming to you over a period of time. 11th house is the house of gains. Saturn is also the natural ruler of the 11th house. So it may not rule the 11th house from the moon, but because the 11th house has Aquarius energies, which means from the moon's placement, Saturn has gone 11 houses. So this means if you get connected to a social cause, if you get connected to a larger cause socially, then you will find more peace. This also means that if you get connected or if you have some sort of a social network with whom you let your hair down, you spend some time every now and then, even if you are an introvert, once in 2-3 months you call people over, that is enough emotional juice for you to keep you going, and that is important for you. Societal connects are also important to you, and if in society you have a bad name, bad reputation, then the emotional health also comes down. There will also maybe, if Saturn, especially Saturn is an inimical sign, somebody who is a friend or somebody who is an acquaintance, somebody who is a colleague at work, they may be somebody who will be spoiling your party every now and then. Especially in your early years, there will always be one friend who will give you a tough time, because of which the emotional health goes down or you are sucked out of your emotional energy. Later on in time, it can be even a friend at work or friend in society, or you may also have a friend, especially both of them are inimical signs, who may spoil the peace at home. If both of them are very well placed, then over a period of time this gives you excellent results. All your wishes and desires from an emotional point of view. Mind you, this is not so much from the financial perspective. Financial perspectives may also come in, but this gives you more peace of mind. Yes, I have my money, I have my investments, I have a good family, I am loved and cared for, everything is good. So from a mental point of view, from an emotional point of view, you have peace and you have solace. So keep focusing on how you can give back to society. Join yourself with some social cause which gives you the peace of mind, and connect with the social causes, connect with the society, keep good relations with society. If you're working in large organization, ensure that you have good connection across departments, and then over a period of time, Saturn gives you excellent results. Saturn allows you, because of 11th house also being the Upachya house, having Aquarius energy, Saturn allows you to grow both in patience and in your work, grow slow through the career, and also have the best equation with also society and a societal network. If Saturn goes into the 12th house from the moon, this is the rising period of Sadesati placement. So if you have Saturn 12th from the moon, which means that you are born in the rising phase of Sadesati. So in your rising phase, it may have been 1 year or 2 years that you have been in the rising period. So that means at least the next 5.5-6 years you were in your Sadesati phase. One of the things is, this is also very karmic placement, because Saturn has gone 12th from the moon, which means there is a carry forward of an emotional leftovers of your previous innings. So there is some emotional dirt that you are carrying, there is some emotional baggage you are carrying, there is some karmic debt emotionally that you are carrying, which has to be paid off, because of which Saturn has gone into the 12th house. Saturn is also the Karaka of the 12th house. 12th house is also Dusthana to the emotional health, mind you, because it has gone 12th from the moon. So every now and then, unless you have taken care of the emotional baggage, the emotional karmic debt, you have paid that off, Saturn keeps troubling you. Mental tensions, tortures, anxieties, frustration become the norm, even going to the clinic will become a norm. If they are in very healthy situations, obviously going to foreign land, maybe a little late in life because Saturn is placed there, but doing very well can also be a equation with this. But still the karmic debt has to be paid off. So yeah, if you get connected to some charities, some organizations where you are helping others, and through that you find the emotional peace, then you also do very well from the money point of view, because the 12th house means waste and excess, high expenses. So if Saturn is in an inimical sign, expenses go up so much that you're always having a dearth of money, and so emotionally you're drained. Where will the money come from? I have to pay this fees, I have to take care of these bills. So you're always in this frustration and anxiety. If Saturn is well placed and if you are somebody who's also at peace of mind, you're also donating, you're also taking care of some charity, some donations you're giving regularly, helping the poor. If nothing is helping somebody in the family, it's helping somebody at work, it's helping somebody in the neighborhood, getting connected to maybe a neighborhood cause or something, helping the homeless people in your neighborhood, small first step, then you will find that over a period of time Saturn gives you stability. Saturn helps you to curb your expenses, allows you to keep the purse strings tight, and doesn't allow you to worry over more than required. Because what happens when Saturn goes 12 from the moon, you're always worried about expenses, you always want to keep the purse strings tight, but suddenly you have to loosen the purse strings because some expense comes, then suddenly you worry again because Saturn is 12 from the moon. So keep the emotional energy high, keep your mental strength high, focus on more positive things, focus that everything will be alright one day, donate to charities, donate to some good cause, and try to be more spiritual, try to be more accepting. Do your karma, do your work, but then leave everything to the supreme energy. Say in whichever situation you will keep, I will be thankful, I will be grateful. So if you are more thankful, you are more grateful, you are at more patience, you are at more peace of mind, then Saturn will over a period of time also allow you both the emotional succor, emotional nourishment, the peace of mind, also allows you to be more spiritual, and also allows you to keep the purse strings tight. So friends, now that we have talked about Saturn going into the 12 houses from the moon, what are the denotations, what are the manifestations, what are the challenges, what are the emotional issues that may come forth, keep the peace of mind, understand where Saturn is from your moon, what conjunction, what yogas or doshas it is in, what aspects it is in, if moon or Saturn, any of them is an inimical sign or benefic signs, accordingly understand the placement very well, prepare yourself for that placement and use it to your advantage through patience and perseverance. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.